What's up, folks? Just a real quick video here. If you're anything like me, you've been playing Overwatch 2 quite a bit this week, and you've been really enjoying, well, this week. And you've probably been enjoying Junkenstein's Revenge, one of the current sandbox modes or one of the arcade game modes. Because for me, I'm a complete and total sucker for leveling up characters. Huge sucker for RPGs, and I love hero shooters that let you actually gain traits. And I wanted to go ahead and kind of examine. We'll go ahead and do N. Just to kind of look at this. And in this mode, you get to choose traits. You get 2 at your first round. You get another 1 with 1 discard per round, every single round following. And it gets pretty silly. I chose this particular replay because this was a fun one where I was playing Pharah, and there's a Pharah on the opposing team, and we took different traits, but also ended up dueling a lot. And a Pharah versus Pharah duel is just a very strange experience. And I really enjoyed it. But it's an interesting time to have this conversation because Deadlock just came out recently, and that gives you talent upgrades that let you kind of change your build throughout the game. Now, Overwatch 2 is so much shorter, but still, I feel like there's room in this to go ahead and have multiple builds, right? So you could pick 1 of 2 options, for example, for each hero. And that could be a sustainable way to go ahead and kind of, give you a little bit more customization. And let's see if we see anything particularly crazy. Oh, right out the gate. Got the just the duking out with Pharah. I'm not going to hit a Pharah, but I might. And this is crazy because, for example, you can see me there. I took the trait that gives me a second charge of jump jets, and we're just hitting each other. This is just like, it's a little hard to follow this when you're not playing. When you're in the adrenaline of playing, it's a different thing. But a couple of the traits that really stood out as wild in this, Reinhardt has one where if he does a hammer strike, if it does a flame strike, excuse me, it leaves a trail of lava behind it, just like the lava from Torbjorn's ultimate. It's nuts. It completely fills up the map, especially since you can stack it with other traits that give you more fire strikes. You can just cover the board in lava. It's pretty wild. And Pharah gets stuff where she gets extra mobility, or whenever she's using a dash or a rocket jet, like a jump in the air or a sideways jump, it will give you a damage boost for a little time. That's one of my favorite ones for worth watching. That's one of my favorite ones for Pharah. One of the most impactful traits I've seen in the entire thing, though. So the Rhine Lava was the funniest one. The damage buff for Pharah felt really impactful. But one of the ones that's just like completely over the moon overpowered is there's a trait that lets you anti or temporarily prevent healing from anything that you hit with D.Va's dash. And that is bananas. I've played tank very little, but when I did play tank with D.Va and I got that anti-trait, it was just insane, the amount of damage you could do. And not only just damage, but it really showed you how impactful healing is on the game. And just having an option to do anti with a tank that isn't Junker, yeah, it was just really fascinating. But I've had so much fun with this mode, I really do wonder if traits being a permanent part of the game could really be sustainable. Interesting. Would it be too balanced? This was a dumb ult on my part, but could it be a sustainable way to play the game? Obviously, they'd have to limit it. You'd have to kind of balance it somehow. There's a huge number of heroes, so even giving each hero the option of 2 potential build options would be a pretty massive increase in the complexity of the game. So I wonder. But I personally think it would be a good idea. It could be fun. I really enjoy the design space, just that you can kind of accentuate multiple parts of a hero's character. Like Moira, for example, she could have a mobility-based build, or she could have a healing-based build, depending on whether you want to be a flanky assassin or whether you want to be a like an actual support. That was dismissive. Anyway, whether you wanted to focus more on supporting, I should say. So it would be a really cool way to both keep the game a little bit fresh, give you kind of more build options to work with, but then also really accentuate the character of each individual hero. I think it would be cool. But I just wanted to go ahead and shout that out and see kind of what the feedback was and see what other people thought. I'm going to go ahead and finish out this game. We'll keep this a relatively short video, but still, yeah, that's it. I don't remember. I think that last round was the one where we really did a lot of the Pharah duels. And here you can see us just going straight for each other. I think I just shot at a wall a bunch, but... Oh, there's the lava. There's the lava. I knew it. Okay, and I love that trait. It's just so wild. And here, I mean, I'm not necessarily defining the game. Pharah does an insane amount of damage already. Being able to do extra is really good, but also it's a little bit balanced here because every single hero at this point is on like 4 or 5 stats or 4 or 5 traits each, and they're all various different things. So some of the others do more damage, some of the others have longer escape moves, some of the others do more healing. So it really does kind of balance out. For none of the games I've played have felt truly one-sided because of traits. Outside of the handful of traits I mentioned earlier, so like Lava Rhine can really be a problem on some maps with some comps, and not being able to change heroes at all during the entire match is a downside. If they added traits, I don't see being able to switch heroes mid-match, so that's definitely a consideration. Oh, I almost got him with the thingy. But yeah, it's also very interesting not being able to switch heroes in game, which is something I don't really think about until after I'm done playing. I get, oh god. In play, I'm just kind of doing it. I'm like, this is my hero I'm playing through, which is somewhat how I play in Overwatch in general. But the still orb, there's one. But being forced to not change was interesting. And I've played some matches where that's really challenging. Like I've played a match where a very defensive Rhine completely shut down my Kiriko, for example, because I didn't have a way to get around the shield in the maps we were on, the way they were playing. It was really impressive play, really good play, and I probably would have switched to a different hero if it had the chance. Ooh, man, right in the face. Yeah, so not being able to switch heroes. Let's actually look at the beginning of that, because I'm not quite done with my thoughts here. And so in here, you've got that extra pause time where people are picking their traits. We're just kind of sticking there, looking at the stuff in there. Yeah. So to outline some of my favorite traits, of course, that anti on Diva's jets is completely insane. But some of my favorites, I really like the Pharah one where she gets an extra charge of jump jets. That is a really cool one and really keeps you in the air longer. It combos off of that built-in damage boost that might make it probably overpowered for kind of general play. Yeah, but I don't know.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Still thinking about it. But yeah, so I'm wondering if there would be an appetite for a permanent mode that was competitive, but where you were not able to switch heroes and you got to pick one of 2 possible builds for your hero at the outset, and then stick with that throughout. I think it would be really excellent practice for people who have true mains. It could be really interesting to mix up the modes, but one of the things that makes Overwatch interesting is being able to switch that hero multiple times throughout the match. Of course, we don't. There's that Pharah duel again. Of course, we don't really like overusing it, and we could see it definitely becoming a problem if it's overutilized. But I'm thinking about most of the other games like this that I've played. You can't switch heroes mid-game. Once you pick, and you're stuck. Which is a problem in some comps where you're kind of stuck with really bad matchups, but that is a challenge that encourages you to learn how to play against that, and then also just teaches you to get better with the heroes you're playing, even in uphill or doomed matchups. Yeah. Again, I'm a little bit back and forth. I really, really love this game mode. I'm having an absolute blast, and I'm probably going to clear every single achievement for it just because I'm enjoying it so much. But I wonder if it would be a healthy long-term thing for the game. So, anyway, that was it. Appreciate the time. Until next time.